What's going on, everybody? And welcome back to The Scoop with Brian and Mike. That's Brian.
What's happening? I'm going to see if I can put this shit together on the fly. So here we have a pretty interesting story. This should appeal to the majority. So second stimulus plan might be in the mix.
Unless you hate money.
Yeah, unless you hate money.
Yeah.
That is possible. Second stimulus plan could be in the works. I don't know if it's hearsay or if it's real or if it's going to happen or they're going to argue about it for the next 6 months while everybody's poor, but we're going to talk about it. The source that I'm using is an article by the U.S. Sun. Americans could get checks of $2,000 every month for 6 months via a second stimulus plan that's gaining support amid the coronavirus crisis. This article was written by, man, why do these people always have such complex names to pronounce? Fianna O'Leary. All right.
I don't know, man.
I butchered the shit out of that, I'm sure. Anyways, we could have, so what this bill says is if you earn as a family, like your wife and you, for example, earn, or your husband and you, whatever is happening, if you make less than $260,000 as a unit.
As a couple.
Yeah, you get $2,000 a crack. Each of you gets $2,000 per month. And individuals who make above $130,000 will receive 5% less for each $1,000 they made above the threshold amount. So,
okay.
Math. I think if they make $130,000, a lot of people would say that they're not hurting, but those people that make $130K probably have Bentley payments and all sorts of
like
white
they got to pay their pool boys and their
right
and their gardeners.
I mean, it's tough at the top. It's tough at the top, right?
Yeah.
Top 1%. So currently, people who make $99,000 or more are not eligible for a stimulus payment. And jointly filing married couples making more than $198K also don't get relief.
So it's kind of like the same requirements when for you to get the original $1,200 check. Okay.
Yeah, I believe it is similar, but to be quite honest, I'm not certain of what the requirements were. All I know is I got my Trump check, and that's all.
Yeah, me too.
Good by me. Good by me. I must have qualified.
Oh, we just outed how much we made.
Yeah, we make less than whatever.
Yeah.
So.
We're not rich.
Definitely not.
We're very poor.
If the House and Senate approves this legislation, people would receive their first installment 14 days after the bill is enacted. So that would probably come as a relief to many people who might need this money. Mm. I would be happy to get me some $2K per month. I'll tell you.
Oh, yeah.
So under this plan, Americans can receive the money via direct deposit, check, prepaid, debit card, or significantly through an electronic transfer application on a cell phone. So many ways to get this money. So I certainly do hope this gets implemented. So it will also be made available to people that don't have a fixed address. So that's kind of interesting. Blah, 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 blah. I'll cut this out. Second way is okay, here's this little factoid. So one other factor is this will continue for at least 6 months. However, if the employment to population ratio doesn't return to 60%, meaning 60% of the population is actually employed, then they will continue to dish out these payments until we reach that goal. Which is,
let me cut you off right there, because so normal is 60% of us working and 40% not working.
Yeah, it seems kind of skewed a little.
Yeah, I thought more people were working than that, like around 70, 80, maybe even higher. Because whenever I hear the news, it's always like, oh, we're at 10% unemployment, that kind of shit.
Yeah, I don't know how they figure the numbers, but I would suspect this number might be based on everyone as a whole, everyone that's working age, regardless of whether they're retired or they're disabled.
Oh, okay.
I'm making some assumptions here, but the 10%, employment, or I'm sorry, the 10% unemployment rate may apply to people that are actually eligible to be employed. I'm not certain, but 60% when you just think about it that way, it sounds low. However, other sources that I've come across have cited that 16% is where we're at right now. 16% of Americans.
Oh, 60% of Americans are actually employed right now.
Yeah, 16 is a pretty bad number.
Wow.
So this is comparable to depression
Yeah.
and things like that.
Yeah. When you say it like that, now it kind of makes sense. So it will go from like 16 to 60. Okay.
Yeah. And it goes on to say, for people who may not have filed their tax returns in 2018 or 2019, they can still submit income information via a Treasury application process, which is verified by 2 consecutive paychecks. So as long as they have some paychecks, hopefully they're not working for cash or whatever. And I could digress a whole bunch on other sources of ways that people can make money, but I'm not going to. We'll keep this on track. It also caters to college students, this new plan, and people with disabilities who are excluded under the previous relief bill. These hard-hit groups would receive the $2,000 payment directly, and their parent or guardian gets the dependent credit come tax time.
Okay.
So it sounds
Sweet.
like a pretty good bill, and I hope that they're able to hammer this one out, because I think a lot of people need this money. I don't know what you think, but
Oh yeah. I mean, everybody needs it. Yeah. Like even people who are working right now, like getting some extra money will not hurt. Because like even people working right now, their futures are uncertain as well. Because like companies right now, they're not saying, oh, companies are not saying, oh, we're going to fire everybody at, when this is all over, like,
right.
So
There was
having money in the bank is pretty good.
Yeah, it's definitely recommended
Yeah.
by many. So there was other talk of potentially, this is totally like hearsay because I haven't found it on any reliable source, but
Yeah, our sources in Washington could not verify what we're about to tell you guys. So
yeah, there is a possibility that there may be student loan forgiveness, rent and mortgage forgiveness, or maybe not forgiveness, but protection, so you can't get thrown out of your house.
yeah,
But they're trying to hammer out the details with that because some people have $20,000 a month mortgage payments and they're multimillionaires and they don't need the assistance. And they need to hammer out those details because like Joe Blow that's trying to make it and has 3 kids and $1,400 house note. I think this situation is going to hit Joe Blow harder than it is.
it'll also hit the landlords. Because, like, imagine, like, let's say a guy, he owns a whole building, and every single one of his tenants go, hey, we're not going to pay for a whole year, right? What's going to happen to him? He's like, oh, he's fucked, right?
He's not going to be happy about that.
Yeah, so they gotta look out for, like, the landlords, too. It has to benefit both sides.
It just goes up the chain. Like first, it's the people that live in the landlord's house. Then the landlord needs assistance from somebody else. Then the person that's assisting him needs assistance. And you can see
everybody needs an assist.
Yeah, everybody needs some shit. Just give us money right now, immediately.
Just just give everybody money. Enough with the fucking qualifications, right?
Yeah.
If you have a fucking bank account, we're just gonna put money in it.
Just money rain from the heavens, and everything will be okay.
We'll just print money.
Yeah, just start printing. They do that shit all the time, right? So definitely would like to hear from you guys in the comments. So if you have any thoughts about this matter, definitely put them in the comments below. We'd love to have you subscribe to the channel and mash the little fucking thing, the bell,
Yeah, the bell. Get notified.
Yep. You won't miss nothing. Never miss anything.
Yeah.
Every alert possible, that's what you click. All alerts, all the time.
Yeah, you know what? Like, why don't you even set your phone to wake you up at like 6 a.m.
Yep.
So like you'll be the first to watch these videos every morning.
Yep. Every day, 6 a.m. Monday through Friday is our upload schedule. So we'll see you on Monday. This one's Friday. We're off on the weekend.
Yep. We have lives. We need to live it.
Definitely have lives.